Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you wearable leather fragrances. So sometimes women shy away from leather because they consider it too masculine. These are all uber sexy. They play up leather in different ways. There's even an ultra feminine one here, which I think most people will be shocked by. But leather can just add kind of a little bit of naughtiness or some oomph in there that make it great for date night fragrances. Sometimes what leather will do is add just a little bit of depth to it, so it doesn't have to be super leather centric, but leather does add kind of a really cool sensual, slightly intoxicating vibe in a fragrance. I've got awesome ones for you today, but before I get started, if you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Join the Weird and Wonderful family. It would be amazing to have you part of the community, and let's get into this. Now, the reason why I chose to talk about leather-centric fragrances is, as you can see, I have a buttery leather amazing trench coat on today. So I'm gonna insert some side views so that you can see kind of what it looks like. But the jacketmaker.com reached out to me and asked if I wanted a leather coat. So I looked at all the styles, and to be honest, I've literally not had a leather jacket in over 20 years. So I just consider them, honestly, a little out of my price range. So what I was excited about with the jacketmaker.com is that they're really reasonably priced, but they're really decent quality leather. So this is something that I would imagine finding at a store like Danier or different places like that. Really solidly made, excellent stitching. And I decided to go for a trench coat because I kind of wish I was Trinity from The Matrix. So this doesn't go all the way to the floor. It goes kind of calf length. But the reason why I chose this particular one is because it's slightly A-line. So it kind of nips in at the waist and then kind of flares out. Now, I kind of wished it would have been a little bit more A-line, but I can see that that would look stiff and almost like a, you know, a plastic skirt kind of idea. So this is just a slight A-line, which just kind of helps my waist a bit. Now, because I'm as chunky as I am, I have very, very large arms. And so they have plus sizes. They go up to, I think, a 3XL. I needed a custom size. I needed a custom size, guys, because my arms are so big that it would be difficult. Now, I find that I personally prefer a lot more room in the sleeves. So this is still, it feels a little bit snug for me, although there is lots of room in there. But when I put a sweater on with it, it's a little bit snug. It's fully lined, and honestly, the sewing and the craftsmanship is really impeccable. I'll put little B-rolls in so you get to see the stitching and whatnot. But I'm super duper impressed with it. And what is cool is that any of their jackets can be custom made for 50 bucks extra. So some of the key points that you want to be aware of is that they're made from full grain leather. They're super durable, long lasting. The range of sizes goes from an extra small to a 3XL. And then of course you can opt for the custom sizing. They have both men and women, and like literally hundreds of different styles, like tons of styles and colors to choose from. A lot of times for custom stuff, it ends up being really, really pricey. This is $50 extra to get it custom fit. So if you're longer in the back or you've got a smaller waist, bigger bust, whatever, they can accommodate that for $50 extra, which I think is really reasonable. And they lay out how to measure yourself really, really well. I think I might have screwed up because I wish the arms were a little bit bigger, but part of it is I tend to wear everything quite slouchy and big, and this fits me. So it's like, I wear way too much slouchy stuff. So that was another reason why I wanted to get something like this. And it was really fascinating to me how I was self-conscious to actually even film myself fully, because I struggle with body image. And I was really made aware of that when I was ordering this coat. I was really conflicted about even doing it because it was a piece of clothing. But I'm really glad that I did. I really love it. So I'm really happy with it. The only thing is that I find that the belt is too big. So for whatever reason, I must have messed up on the measurement there, and it's yeah, it needs a couple more holes, but that's partially because I like to cinch it in majorly. Whereas if you didn't want to cinch it in as much, you wouldn't have to. So I just tie it. I find that easier anyway. Although this has buttons, honestly, I wouldn't ever do it up. The buttons, they're nice and solid, and they have like kind of an inside button too to really protect it from breaking open or anything like that. But I find them super stiff, and I don't find it convenient. So even though it has buttons, I likely wouldn't ever do it up. I would just wrap the belt around and tie it. So I will leave everything linked down below. Currently, they've got Black Friday cyber sale going on, so you can get 15% off of your purchase. But if you use my coupon code, you get an extra 10% off. So that would be 25% off. And seriously, the prices are fantastic. The only thing that I noticed was on the inside, there's a couple little scrapes. So I don't know how that happened. I don't know if it was like that, but there's just two little tiny micro tears here. You know, I'm not quite sure how that occurred, but other than that, it's literally impeccable. So super impressed. I'll leave everything linked below so you can check it out. If you're in the market for a leather coat, let me tell you, like, this one is fantastic. Now onto the fragrance. As per usual, I have a huge mix of price ranges. So I like to include something for everybody. So all the way from affordable, designer, niche, I like to kind of give you a range. So I'm going to start with the most affordable. This one is amazing, and it's Fifth Avenue Royale by Elizabeth Arden. I got this for $14.99. I think they're usually around 25 bucks. This fragrance is so delicious, it defies description. And if you love Noir Perfume and you're like really sad because you can't get a hold of it because it's discontinued, this has the same vibe as Noir Perfume. So there's a slight suede note in this one, and it's very, very, like, it's there, it's present, but it has this gorgeous raspberry kind of rosy combination. It's totally decadent, it's sweet. The longevity isn't fantastic on this one. So what that means for me is that it's gonna last you about 4 hours before you'd need to reapply. But if you're going out for an evening, this is gorgeous, and it's not gonna choke out your partner, but it is so sexy, and it's very luxurious smelling. And that's what I find about leather. I actually find that it kind of amps up the luxury factor somehow. Maybe I just associate leather. Leather goes either way. Like, leather is either like leather fishnet stockings, sex situation, or leather. I always think about motorcycle riding, because I used to be a motorcycle rider. I used to be a biker, like not a, like, yeah, I used to be a biker. So like not biker, like in a gang, but I was a biker. So I think of leather, like leather chaps, leather jacket, like motorcycle jacket, all that kind of stuff. Or I think, you know, a little bit more trendy, luxurious. I think of cars. I love leather in cars, leather couches, so a little bit more luxe. So this is very luxe smelling. It's something that you could wear to a fancy evening and you would smell very opulent. Love it. And cheap, guys. Now the next one that is uber sexy and really quite addictive is La Petite Robe Noir's Black Perfecto. Now this has a cherry note in it, so it's a flanker of La Petite Robe Noir, so that kind of lighter, brighter cherry. This has some black tea in it, and then it's got a leather note in it, and it just kind of, again, deepens it up. This is sweet. It's actually quite light. I don't find it uber dark. But this fragrance, I don't think opulent evening. This fragrance, I think more like getting on the back of a motorcycle, going for a ride, stopping at some sort of roadhouse place, getting off the bike, the hair goes flying, that kind of scene. That's what I get from this. So it's a little bit of a naughty girl vibe somehow. I'm not quite sure. But I love this, and the longevity on this is fantastic. It's rather affordable if you can find it. So yeah, I really, really love this one. This is one of my favorite from the La Petite Robe Noir collection. Yeah, the cherry in this is kind of interesting because it's not your liquored cherry. It's more of a, like a brighter, fresh cherry. Sweet, light, kind of almost airy, but with that black tea and leather. This one is like bad girl biker. Love it. Now, one that is completely shocking that it has leather. In fact, I don't know if I believe it. It says it on Fragrantica. Not sure I buy it. Lael by Jean-Paul Gaultier. So this is one of the most girly fragrances you're ever going to come across, and yet it's got a leather note in this. Now, lots of women, when this first came out, they all talked about the fact that they were smelling leather, which I've never smelt leather in this one, but it is so delicious. Like, it's very mouth-watering, juicy, vivacious, flirty, girly. Like, this is uber girly. So love it, but it's got leather in it. So maybe the leather is what amps up the sexy factor in this one, because it really is sexy, flirty, fun, delicious. Guys love this fragrance too. What about you? Do you guys like Lael? I think probably you do. One of my more pricey niche fragrances is Milano by Fragrance du Bois. Although this one has leather in it, it's got some saffron, there's some fruitiness in here, there's some jasmine. I get a little bit of a floral, but to me it feels a little bit more rosy. It's very fruity. It's got a similar fruitiness to the Al Haramain Oud Gold, but it's a little bit more understated and a little bit more smooth and mellow. What makes this one stand out is the leather, and the leather gives it almost a cigarette vibe. And that's what I find. Sometimes leather has a bit of a cigarette-y feel. It's just ever so slight in this, but this one smells really sophisticated. So think woman, she's sitting in Milan, she's having a coffee, she's got a white blouse on, tailored navy pants, she's got some sort of a suit jacket, loafers, very understated, probably has pearls on, that kind of idea. It feels very luxurious without trying too hard. And that leather gives it kind of a neat edge that really contributes to it feeling very rich, but not garish, if that makes sense. One that's been released in 2023 is Sugar Leather by Une Nuit Nomade. Now this one took the world by storm. Everybody loves it. It's really, really delicious. So you're getting basically a sugary kind of caramel feel to this fragrance, and the leather. The leather really comes out. This has cinnamon, caramel, leather, labdanum, and amyris. This caramel leathery feel, but somehow it stays really kind of bright and airy. So there's like a delicate quality to this. So it'd be like leather lace, if that makes sense. It just smells very intoxicating. Like, it's a delicious fragrance, kind of cozy. This is a fragrance that when I think about this fragrance, I don't think uber sexy though. For this one, I think more along the lines of you're going on a casual day date. You've got a leather cropped jacket on, just kind of going through the shops. And for whatever reason, when I think of this, I don't think black leather. I think more of a caramel nubuck color or a cream leather somehow. It's really, really addictive. This one's just a really enjoyable fragrance to wear, kind of casual in my opinion, and I love it. Lasts a really long time too. I honestly, Une Nuit Nomade is like, I love this house. They're so, so good. A fragrance that I haven't talked about very much is Mandor by Soradora. This one is perfect for fall and winter. This doesn't have leather, this has suede, but it's one of the most leathery ones that I have in my collection. And although it's unisex, I would say that it leans more masculine. If you're scared of leather, you might actually find this one too much. It's a beautiful fragrance though. For whatever reason, when you spray it, you get this beautiful kind of almond, like it almost smells like an almond sweet paste with cherry. And the cherry is just kind of light and bright. I don't know why. Like, I don't know if it's the tonka and the heliotrope mixing or what the deal is. This has some booziness in it too, but this is totally addictive as well. Like, I love leather. I love anyway, yeah, this one is very, very addictive. This one I find sits a little closer to the skin. So this one is like a really great one if you would just want to smell, like, you know, when you want to, you don't want to necessarily smell super sexy, but you want someone to come kind of nuzzle in and then not stop nuzzling. This to me is great for that because it doesn't project a lot, but it's somehow so addictive because of that kind of almondy cherry vibe that's in there with the leather, even though there is no almond and cherry. This one's a bit of a mystery to me, but oh, it smells good. It smells so, so good. This would be my least favorite leather in my collection. It is Saltan Noir by Pascal Morabito. Now this has incense in it, incense forward for sure. It's got some apple in here, which gives it kind of a boozy feel. There's also a bit of iris, so there's a bit of powderiness. It's got oud, vanilla, and then of course the leather. This one is also a little bit masculine leaning. It's definitely unisex. It's got that smoky feel. I think it's really beautiful, but the incense, to me, incense always feels a little bit cold. Not in every fragrance, but in this one, I find it a little bit cold, so I don't gravitate towards this one very often. And I've had many comments when I was really talking about this one a lot. A lot of women found this very masculine. So if you want something that's like really addictive and intoxicating, but more for your guy, you might want to go for this. And it was like $36. So great longevity, great performance, beautiful smelling fragrance. I still wear it on occasion and really enjoy wearing it, especially in those cold winter days. Gorgeous. Now I saved the best for last. Like, this is my absolute favorite fragrance that has leather, and it is Cherry Punk by Room 1015. This is uber duper amazingly sexy. It's so good. The cherry is so intoxicating, and whereas the cherry vibe in Mandor just feels kind of, it's pretty. The cherry in Black Perfecto is kind of bright. This one's a little bit boozy, a little bit deeper. This has some saffron. There's some pepper in here. I think there's jasmine. It's very, very sexy. I love wearing this fragrance. It's a great fragrance. It's super solid, and although the leather is there, it's balanced by that cherry. So it's present, but not so crazy that, you know. But what I think of when I think of this fragrance is I honestly think, like, this is so cheeseball, but like red lip, fishnet stockings, bustier, maybe holding a riding crop, like that kind of vibe is what I get from this one. Woo! It's very, very sexy, but I like wearing it anytime. Like, it's just addictive because of that cherry in there. Love the bottle. Love everything about this. It's so, so good. Another one that I want from Room 1015 is Holly Rose. That is a gothic, amazing rose. I think it has leather in it too. But lately I am just so craving anything dark, deep, sexy, spicy, leathery. Like, I am, like, it's like I can't get enough. So what about you? What are your favorite leather fragrances? Please weigh in with your favorites. If you've tried these ones, let me know what you think of them. And if you've tried coats from the Jacket Maker, please weigh in and say what you think. I'm really, really happy with this. Thank you so much to thejacketmaker.com for sending this to me. All the information will be linked down below. And I'm also going to include a couple different ways that I style this at the end. So if you want to watch that, go ahead. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon. So the first look that I have is just a pair of skinny leg denims, rolled up at the cuff with a little kind of Doc Martens style boot, leather coat, black leather purse, and a white chunky sweater. So I think this is super cute. I don't ever get super dressy. I usually keep it pretty casual. You could certainly dress this jacket up a lot, but I'm just going to show you a few looks. But I think this looks super cute. So in this one, it's just casual again. Decided to wear a hat, throw in a tote bag just for a pop of color. A little kind of weird cap. And then I would likely just wear this open. And so it's just literally sweats, leggings, combat boots, but like a pop of taupe. So I love, like, basically this is my shtick. Maybe I need a style makeover. So this time I've got a blouse on, leggings, some Miss Moose kind of burgundy colored boots with the jacket. So you could wear, like, you could wear trousers obviously with it. What about you guys? Do you think it looks good? Let me know.